Macmillan Audio presents Port of Shadows, a Chronicle of the Black Company, by Glen Cook. Read for you by Brian Troxell. Prologue. I was permitted to record the following, but do not doubt that the pertinent annals will disappear and be read by none forever, whilst those of us who lived it forget every instant of love and horror. It started in humanity's bleakest hour, as the domination staggered toward its demise. I know these things only through a windfall blessing. Resurrectionist fugitives who fled from Hanau early took the relevant documents with them, only to give them up in transit. Unable to decipher them myself, I passed them on to Charm. Some generous spirit there returned a translation copy that was, for sure, edited, censored, and bowdlerized, but even so was one that offered a skeleton on which I could flesh out a pragmatic phantasm of the truth. 1. Once upon a time, in dusk. The night was silent but for the clop of hooves on wet cobblestones. A sliver of moon winked at the world from behind straggler wisps of cloud, silhouetting the grim spires of Grimdark. No light shone anywhere from that fortress. The air was still and nearly chill now that the rain had gone away. A hint of corrupting flesh tainted the air of imperial dusk. It was not yet late enough in the season for many insects. The black coach stopped, its right side wheels a yard from an unguarded drop-off into a moat-like canal that existed to carry off wastes rather than to present a defensive barrier. A waste chute debouched into the canal just yards upstream from the coach. The driver tied off his reins. He climbed down. He assumed a stiff parade rest at the canal's edge, but after a brief wait he turned, opened the coach door, and retrieved a boat hook. He now held that tool like it was a pole arm. A corpse made a small plop as it hit the water. Momentum brought it to the surface where the coachman waited. He did not have to use the boat hook. He pulled the girl from the canal carefully. She was slippery. The rain had freshened the water, so her brief immersion did not gift her with the sewer perfume she might have acquired on another night. She wore nothing. Any abuse she had suffered was not obvious. She was 15 at the oldest. She did not weigh much. The coachman had no trouble getting her into his vehicle. He wrapped her in blankets and propped her in a corner. She looked like she was sick or drunk or asleep when he finished. "You down there, what are you doing?" That demand came down from 80 feet above. The coachman's heart, thumping already, now hammered, although he knew no one could get down from there in time to identify or stop him. He had gone through this in dry runs a half-dozen times. This was the first time he had been noticed. He kept the coach moving sedately while departing the area. It was unlikely that anyone would check why a coach had been standing beside the waste canal, despite it being about the time when the Dominator's henchmen disposed of the used-up Virgin of the Night. Dusk's gates never closed. What fool would invade the capital of the Domination, especially when the dread Lord of the Empire was in residence? No one living owned that much audacity. The coachman was remarkable in having shown the daring he had. There was no cause for the guards at the Jade Gate to disrupt his departure. A small donative did, however, change hands. That was customary. In return, the soldiers were entirely cursory in their inspection. The coachman explained, "That's my daughter, 14 and blind drunk, to my shame."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?